What's 100% a scam but we accepted it in our society? As an academic scientist, pick one of these two. We use taxpayer money to fund biomedical research, which we then write up into a research study and pay the journals so that they can publish the said study, only for the journals to turn around and put them behind a paywall. We also use taxpayer money to fund years of biomedical research, which occasionally results in a groundbreaking drug/treatment, which then gets licensed out, usually, by a pharma company, which then marks up the price and turns around and charges the taxpayer an absurd amount of money to use the said drug. Edit. Additional salt to the wound. Do you guys know Moderna, which made the mRNA COVID vaccine, and the NIH, the federal institute that performed initial preclinical research on the mRNA vaccine and also literally funded the research, are in a patent dispute over the vaccine? Paying hundreds of dollars per month for health insurance and then insurance not paying for anything until you've hit your deductible, usually thousands of dollars per year, and then after hitting your deductible, insurance only paying for a certain percentage of your care until the end of the year, until your deductible resets and you pay out of pocket all over again until you hit the deductible, and even after hitting the deductible your insurance is fighting tooth and nail not to cover anything. Why do we pay the same price for digital and physical games? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't we pay less when buying a digital game? When you buy physical, you are paying $70 for the disc, the box, the art, probably the distribution cost and the game. When you buy digital you are paying $70 for just the game. It doesn't seem logical to me. Are digital buyers paying more so the prices don't increase more for physical buyers? Do the games really cost $70 and physical buyers are getting everything else for free? Or there is a perfectly logical explanation that I just don't know about? To go into massive debt to get a college degree for a job that either doesn't pay well or where there's so much competition that statistically you won't get the job unless you know somebody that can get you in. Then you have to get just any job to pay the loans and other bills you have, living check to check, dreaming that one day you'll get a better job, one day you'll have more money, one day things will get better, but it doesn't just magically happen. Fighting the stress and depression, so you drink or smoke to feel better, and buy name brand things you can afford to feel better just for a bit. You're too tired to meal prep and cook, so you just go and get fast food, which eats into what little money you have left after you paid your bills. Meanwhile, you're getting chunkier and more tired and older. Inflation jumps faster than your raises at work, so life just gets more and more expensive unless you work extra hours until you break. Meanwhile, old daddy government gets his money from you in taxes every step of the way: school loan payments, wage tax, sales tax, utility tax, property tax, gas tax, import tax, export tax, grocery tax, restaurant food tax. Justice system. Crimes are punished unequally. Whether it's because of how laws are written, socioeconomic background, judicial discretion, DAs refusing to prosecute, or act. Real estate agents getting tens of thousands, if not more, for facilitating the sale of your home. 30+ years ago, when housing cost $100,000 to $200,000 if not less, is one thing. But with housing in many major metro areas garnering $500,000 plus, we still pay the same 0.5% with no added value in markets where homes often sell themselves. College. Most of the time you're paying to teach yourself. Property taxes, if not taxes in general. Nothing makes less sense than the seizure and sale of everything in your possession for failure to pay taxes unrelated to said property. Purchase price is really just a privilege fee, you own nothing. Insurance. You're worried something will happen, so you fork over a bunch of money to protect you from it. When something bad happens, you have to pay a bunch out of pocket anyway before insurance kicks in, and they don't guarantee everything is paid for. When it's over, there is still a chance that whatever bad happened to you might come back, and insurance doesn't offer any defense against it. And then, as a gift, even if you've never had anything bad happen, the price of the insurance goes up. Oh, also, if you can't afford the insurance, you definitely can't afford for the thing to happen to you. How houses are bought and sold in America. A house goes on the market for $300,000, someone agrees to their asking price, and the seller says no thanks, we're holding out for a better offer. Imagine going into Walmart and seeing a pair of pants for $40, get to the register, and the cashier say they want at least $50 for the pants. Has never made sense to me. Airlines, how they can sell more tickets than what's available and then bump someone off of the plane just because. Organized religion, they weaponize your guilt so you'll give them money. You don't need to pay someone to talk to a deity. You don't need to feel bad for not having the same strict code of ethics as your neighbors. Go have premarital sex. Try butt stuff. Be gay. Tell your significant other about your foot fetish. Have an abortion if you're not ready for kids, or for any reason you want, honestly. Use a condom. Or birth control. Talk about your feelings open and honestly to your family. Be happy. Not talking about salaries, management has been scamming generations of workers out of money for years by making it taboo. If you're a parent, tell your kids how much you make. How much your friends make, the neighbors, too. Talking about finance should start at a young age. Don't brag. State it as a matter of fact. Enough of this bullshit sending 18-year-old people out into the world with no prior knowledge. Gift giving. We buy each other gifts that we assume are approximately the same monetary value as the gift we expect to receive. It amounts to both parties spending unnecessary money to obtain an unnecessary, and often unwanted, gift. The scam is accepted because of the social expectation to give and receive gifts, wherein it is seen as rude and uncaring to not participate in this consumerist ritual. A gift is not a gift if it is expected. Universities. We borrow outstanding sums of money to pay an incredibly inflated premium for education, to maybe get a job in what may be a saturated market with low demand. But education is important, so the narrative is always, we need to forgive student debt. Everyone agrees university is way too goddamn expensive, but I almost never see hatred towards them. But hatred towards corporations? Goddamn, you hear about how corrupt corporations are every single day, regardless of what claims are being made or their validity. Education gets a pass. If we thought about universities as if they were corporations, they would make Nestlé look like saints. If corporations got away with the stuff universities get away with, even conservatives would call for more corporate regulations. Universities are in bed with the government. The government spends money on campaigns encouraging students to go to college. High schools are designed to promote college and discourage students from seeking jobs that don't require an education. There are plenty, but we never hear of them because we aren't taught about them. Propaganda has convinced parents, teachers, etc., that you can't succeed without a college degree, and that fear is passed down to children and teens. Not only that, but the number of student loans handed out by the government is outrageous. Even small government loans encourage borrowers to seek larger loans. We're telling 18-year-olds to borrow tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. What the fuck? People who have never worked a day in their life. Borrowing enough money to start a small business. Do we encourage 18-year-olds take out loans to start businesses? No, too risky. But universities? We ignore the fact most students don't graduate. Those who do often can't find work. Don't start a restaurant. Take out $150,000 loan for a fucking art degree. If fucking Amazon did this, people would rightfully flip the fuck out. Imagine if Amazon provided training to help make people more hireable. Imagine they charge hundreds of thousands of dollars to do so. Imagine schools and parents saying to their children, you need to take out massive loans for Amazon's courses. Oh. On top of all of that. On fucking top of it. Loan forgiveness. Amazon would create massive debt for students. Then the debts are forgiven. This will result in more students taking out massive loans because they think their own debt will be forgiven. Hell, Amazon might even raise prices. But it's not Amazon. It's our universities. Even people who are critical of universities seldom realize how bad it really is. Because we don't hold universities to the standards we hold corporations to. Universities may provide genuinely important education, but it's a scam nonetheless. Car dependency. How did we as a society accept that we have to fully rely on cars to simply be able to make a living? We work hours to simply be able to afford a car, gas, insurance, and maintenance to simply make it to work. Why do we let our government dictate to make density illegal and use it as an argument to keep our car dependency restrictions in place? Government, we have decided to make density illegal. Also government, the people need these car-dependent restrictions. BC things are to spread out and they need parking and cars to commute. Car dependency is not freedom if you need a car to make a living. Obviously we know who is behind all of this. The auto industry. Spreading a bunch of propaganda on ads and on the media. Private mortgage insurance. Your interest rate already contains the bank's hedge against your risk. Plus, if you default and PMI has to pay out, they can legally sue you for the damages. You read that correctly, your private mortgage insurance company can sue you if you have to use the insurance you pay for. And people just think that this is normal. Paying extra to sit next to the people who are on the same flight booking as you. I've just been charged £15 per person by EasyJet to ensure we are sat together and there is a minor included on that. Apparently there's isn't a legislation that prevents this and minors can be sat alone. Also they want to charge extra if your hand luggage is slightly wider than their tiny box under the desk at the airport. Fuck EasyJet and any of the shitty airlines who have this scam as normal practice. Any type of insurance. It's one of the few products you pay for consistently, and at any point you attempt to use it, the company you pay for it through might/will become adversarial to you and your interests. Health, car, life, home, all of them are your friend until you need to utilize them. Also, in the US, we are obsessed with third-party management, which is a scam. You need a certain part to fix your AC unit. You can't buy it unless you have hired a repair company. If you want to buy a car, you have to go to a dealer. I got quartz put on my kitchen cabinets, couldn't get the price unless my contractor/granite guy bought it. Dentistry not being healthcare. You know an abscess tooth can kill, right? But somehow it's not a medical emergency and you are forced to suffer one of the strongest pains the body can experience, waiting it out without legitimate medical attention because oh that's dentistry, we don't do that at hospitals, you'll have to make an appointment like it's a regular checkup possibly months from now. I know 2 people who have died from teeth complications. One was a wisdom tooth abscess in an early 20s otherwise healthy male. But he was told repeatedly nobody could do anything for him because he didn't have insurance, so he was given medical malpractice by default because he was basically told to get a straw and suck it the fuck up. I was robbed and shot 13 times with a .40 SW, but I'd rather do that again than have another tooth pulled without anesthesia. Christ. The whole knee-jerk reaction over the bullshit opioid crisis got a lot of people killed too.